it was a big decision to take. Obviously, you're at university and you just have this mentality you want to keep on going along with your life. You're like young and you don't expect those kind of things to happen to you.
A large part of it is you go from being so busy and quite accomplished and everything going in the right direction, and then suddenly just nothing.
It's actually, I didn't realise how useful it was having a year out to sort things out and like just think and stuff like that. And I'm actually kind of happy it happened overall.
I was privileged enough that my college and my tutor were lovely, and they treated it very much like, okay, intermit on, like a switch, and then when I needed to come back, it was very much like intermit off, and that was it really. It was as simple as that.
It was so bad that I didn't even realise that people were like, oh, didn't they support you? And I was like, oh, were they supposed to do that?
Beyond my tutor, my tutor I really respect, he's helped me a lot in this situation. But beyond that, I feel like college really doesn't care about me at all. They've given me pretty much no help.
The experience of intermitting, being sent away, was horrific. It was fast. They just turfed me out straight away. They argued with me massively. They put me under a ton of pressure. They hadn't done anything to actually help me stay at college or help me stay at university or on my course. I was entitled to a whole load of help as a disabled student that they didn't know about, even though I told them.
I was really lucky, I think, that my college were really great. So I intermitted 3 weeks before I was due to do my exams, and they said that's fine.
The conditions on coming back, this was another fun one. So I did MML, and I just about scraped a pass in one of my languages in first year. And they were like, well, if you're going to come back, you've got to brush up that language and make sure that you can get a decent 2-2 in that.
I think they were quite good about it, but it's a massive lottery. So when I talked to them, they were kind of informally you're all right. I think it was probably informed by the fact that I had decent exam results, and it was a physical condition, not a mental condition. And I kind of got the feeling that if it had been a different situation, then maybe I wouldn't have had the same. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If I was a student from a different background, I might have had access to tutors or schools or family friends who I could have got the help from to do this project of learning the language that I needed. Which is absurd, because part of the thing about intermitting in some of the policies is they say absolutely do not study, don't do anything.
I was told when I intermitted that if I wanted to visit at all, I would have to contact the senior tutor to get permission, because you're not really supposed to be in Cambridge, because there's this whole idea that you're banished from town.
What happened with me is that because I had no support whatsoever, was still ill, turned out I had a learning disability, and college hated me anyway, so I again scraped a pass in this test, which I thought was pretty impressive under all the pressure. But we had a new senior tutor, and she was just like, well, I'm so sorry you can't come back, and that was massively, it was really awful.
I don't know if it was this work was always hard, or if it's just after a year and a half of doing it, of not doing it. It's just, you just suddenly everything is just really the weeks go by like that. It's like the Cambridge experience, but harder and actually worse, I think, because it's just you don't remember what you're doing, and it's all
I was really worried about coming back. I was really scared. The thing my college weren't that good about was accommodation. They don't tell you where you're going to be living until the very last minute. So I think I found out about 2 to 3 weeks before I was coming back, whereas everyone else knew in Lent term when they balloted.
I think being part of a new year group and also getting into the swing of the Cambridge schedules and academia is the first battle, and then even after that you still have the problem of all your friends have graduated. All the freshers coming in are much younger than you are, you can't really relate.
So yeah, I got an email from my DOS saying, oh, there's these workshops that the University Counselling Service run for intermitters returning, which was really nice. It's a new thing this year. That was really good. my tutor saw me pretty much straight away. I went to my GP and they said to keep in contact with a college nurse to make sure I had somebody straight away that I could talk to if I needed to.
I think the most important thing is that there needs to be more information out there. It's just so unclear and no one tells you at each step what the next step's going to be like really, or the details on how it's going to go.
Being treated like a person and not a problem, that would just transform it completely.
I think the university should do something official to make it so you have a network of people who are also intermitting, so you can share experiences with people. I only found out that there's a group for intermitters on Facebook, and it's an unofficial one, after I came back.
Uniformity is like really important because you just have no idea where you stand when like one college does one thing, one college does another thing, and even within one college there are like some discrepancies.
There should be more transparency as to what's needed, what kind of evidence is needed to return, how often the board meets to approve your case, because I know a lot of people that have been caused undue anxiety and panic when they've realised that they want to come back and yet the deadline has passed for them to send in the evidence and documents. So I think improved clarity and transparency in that area would be really helpful for a lot of people when returning.